Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609. I'm at Oliver Lee State Park near Alamogordo, New Mexico. And you're not going to believe this. I've done a lot of videos, over 3,000, okay? Wait till you see what I've run into now. Anyway, take a look at this vehicle. There's a whole story here, guys. We're going to get into it just a little piece at a time. And this is, your name is, your first name?
Mike.
Mike, and Mike's from Abilene, him and his wife. But I want you to check out this deal. They do, is it off-roading?
Overlanding.
Overlanding. Can you define overlanding?
Basically, overlanding is not about the destination, it's about the trip. So it's about going to places, not necessarily everybody can go to. So you kind of have to have a high clearance off-road vehicle to do it.
I can see.
But it's about the experience, not necessarily where you're going.
Well, have y'all done this for a long time? Or
no, we just started about a year ago. Our kids both got jobs and got their own thing going, and so we decided we could do stuff, ourselves. So.
All right, y'all just returned from an event somewhere, right?
Yeah, we went to Overland Expo West in Flagstaff, and there was about the vendors. There's probably 500 or 600 vendors there, and there was probably 16,000 or 20,000 people there.
Good gosh.
And probably 3,000 or 4,000 of these types of vehicles. And then they make them from I don't know if you know what a Unimog is, but they have big, huge ones, and down to people make them out of Subaru Outbacks or anything. And they have vans that are four-wheel drive.
Well, did you buy the truck this way?
I bought the truck stock. It was a stock Tacoma TRD 4x4 off-road. So it's stock when I got it.
It was stock, but it ain't stock now.
No.
Those tires didn't come with it, did they?
No, those are 33s. The tires that are on it are a lot smaller than that when you bought it from the...
All right. And what ply would those be?
They're 10 ply
10
tires, 4 on the sidewalls.
All right.
But I had a whole new suspension put underneath it. It's got Icon Stage 6 suspension underneath it with hydraulic bypass shocks. 800-pound coil springs in the front. Had OEM Icon leaf springs put in the back to carry extra weight.
All right.
To do the suspension.
All right, let's walk around the truck, and we'll take. Okay, let's start with the top. You got it. That's your tent, okay?
Yep, that's my tent. It's a Gazelle T4.
Gazelle T4 tent. You got a shovel for if you get stuck.
Yeah, got a shovel. You got to dig yourself out. Got extra water. 4 gallons of water on top.
All right.
The other side, when we get over there.
Yeah. All right, so it's a 4-door, was stock Tacoma. Now it ain't stock. It's got a lot of stuff. Now this little vent here, you're gonna love the answer to this question, guys. Tell me about the vent coming out of the engine.
That's an ARB Safari snorkel, that's what it's called. So basically what it does, if you go in deep water to keep the water out of your intake, but another thing it does is, your air intake's basically right behind this in a stock vehicle. So if you're on a dirt road or a very dusty road, you're just churning up dust.
Right.
So this actually keeps the air cleaner too, even if you're not.
Okay.
Water, so.
Well, now what's right beside it? There's a light or something.
Those are my ditch lights. They're facing ditch lights. They're facing out towards the ditch. So when you're on a road, you can see beside you in the ditch.
Okay, and you added this railing all the way around.
Yeah,
right?
these are called rock sliders.
Rock sliders.
Right here.
Yes.
And these are ARB rock sliders, and they made into the ARB front bumper that I had put on also.
I don't even want to know what all that cost. I don't want to know. And on your hood it says not
Yo Taco.
Not Yo Taco.
Not Yo's. It's mine.
It's my taco. Oh, I love this. Got a winch.
Yep,
Okay.
got a Warren 12,000-pound winch on the front.
12,000-pound winch.
Yep, synthetic.
No, I got it. I mean, and those lights look like they'd burn holes.
Yep, those are ARB intensity lights.
How far? I mean, they shine.
They're really, really bright.
I hear they shine for a mile. Well, I mean, do y'all actually go off-road in groups, or do you go by yourself? We do
groups. This trip, we'll offer by ourselves, but there's lots of groups. There's a huge worldwide group called OverlandBound.com.
Okay.
And they do a lot of stuff.
Well, where do you go off-roading around here, or Abilene? Or
Abilene, we usually go to Big Bend National Park, Big Bend State Park.
And just go out in the boonies, huh?
Yeah, there's lots of backcountry roads there.
All right. You feel safe doing that, huh?
I do, yes.
Okay, fine.
Never out for Texas.
All right. I know, I understand that. Si habla lead poisoning, okay? Yeah. Okay, so we got more of the stuff over here, and then you got a rhino rack.
It's a bat wing awning.
That's an awning.
Yep, it's 270 degrees, so it covers the whole side and the back.
Well, bully.
And it just fans out, and it has poles that pop down.
How about that?
And so you have an awning, so you can cook and sit underneath if it's hot, like in a desert, like we're in right now.
What do you cook with? You got your
I have a scuttle.
I say what?
Basically, it's a plow disc.
You made it.
No, I bought this one.
You bought it.
I can't make it. Basically, it's a plow disc, and you can cook in it, and it has a mount for a stove underneath it.
All right, okay. So you just kind of build a fire in it, or you use charcoal?
No, it has a stove, propane stove.
Okay, propane. And then you got some extra stuff on the back here.
This is a rear high clearance bumper, so I had to cut 4 inches of bed off to raise the clearance up. So like if you're coming off a rock, you don't want to hit the back here.
No, you don't.
And this bumper's made by Brute Force Fab.
Brute Force Fab.
Yep.
You got 2 5-gallon cans for gas. Is that gasoline?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Both of them are gas.
Is that?
I had those Rhino line. Those are probably the most 2 expensive gas cans in the world.
You had them Rhino lined?
Yeah, yes, sir. Because there's bolts back here and they rub on the cans. And I didn't want it to rub a hole in them.
No, you don't want to do that.
The spare tire, and this is a trash can.
Who do you hire to get that spare tire off?
My wife.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, you get over here. You hanging out over there.
I'm just hanging out outside, yeah.
What is your name?
I'm Amy.
Amy
hello,
is.
everyone.
Say again.
I said hello, Amy.
Okay, Amy, and your name.
Mike.
And who?
And Mike.
And Mike. Yeah.
Amy.
Okay. Amy and Mike. Got it. Amy and Mike. Everybody.
It
Okay.
opens up.
This folds out so you can access everything, and I guess this makes into a table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if you don't need to do it, if you're setting up and that's part of it, fine. But
Oh, no, go ahead.
yeah. But I mean, don't.
You got a table to put your cook stove on.
I got you.
I also have another table right here, stainless steel table that fits underneath my top rack.
And you
comes out.
sleep in the tent. And what do you use for a bed in the tent?
We have cots.
Oh, cots. Bully. What is that black thing?
That's the
This
refrigerator.
is my refrigerator freezer.
That is a big refrigerator.
75 quart.
Yes, it is.
75 quart? Good
They're
God.
made by Dometic.
Well,
There's tons of people that make them in different sizes.
Well, no, I had a Dometic CF 18 quart.
This is 75.
No,
CS Spec 75.
I hear you. You could put mine in there and have room to spare. Yeah, a lot. Isn't that, you got chairs? I see that.
Yeah, we got chairs in the back, all of our sleeping stuff. We have some plastic boxes that are made for that to store stuff in. We keep food, all of our dishes.
What are these Decker things?
Deck drawers. Keep all the stuff.
Asking you shall receive.
The back is all tools, recovery gear. I got my cooking section with my propane. Gotta have this when you're eating not very much fiber. So
No, well, you know, I hear you. No, God dang, now you're going to tell me you didn't make that, okay?
Oh no, I bought these.
Okay, but that comes like an all one piece, and you.
No, it comes in a box. You got to put it together and then you install it.
Okay, but yeah, those slide out drawers. That's freaking
Yeah,
neat,
then
man.
these were originally made for like people that do craft, and they're made to carry tools in. But
Yeah, well,
I was
what-
like, those would be nice to have. And
don't
there's
kid
other
me.
companies just for the Overland community that makes them.
Yeah, but how organized, man? I mean, you got a ton of stuff, but you got you got it where you can get to it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know, my camper, I bought it with both the windows that open on the sides, so I can get to the stuff in the back without having to climb in.
What is the brand name of the camper
It's
top?
an ARE. ARE.
ARE, yeah.
It's called the Overland series.
Okay, because I've got a Lear on my Ram pickup, and the side windows are there, but they don't open.
Yeah.
Bully. I mean, I there went the neighborhood. Here comes Rusty with his cheap top. But look at that, guys. Is that nice or what? Yeah, both windows open. So I mean, if push came to shove and you had really bad weather, you could just climb in there and you're good, huh?
They put everything outside that you got in there.
Yeah, I hear you. Never mind.
Or just put the awning up, then you'll be dry.
Yeah.
Takes
But,
takes about 3 minutes.
well, out here, you know, of course, you being from Abilene, you know all about winds.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, out here, you know, the awning is not. You'd have to be careful with it. That's all I can say.
Then I have a dual battery system on it.
Oh, a dual battery system, lady. Well, I figured you would.
I have the refrigerator.
Surprised it's not a triple battery. What do you got? AGMs or lead acid?
They're lead acid.
Okay.
But I also have this called an S-Pod.
Oh, this is. I gotta
Basically,
see this. What do you?
it operates everything, all the lights.
That is called an S-Pod.
Yes, sir. That's the manufacturer. But it operates the CB, the lights, anything you want to hook into it. Basically, gives you a solid state box inside the
Okay.
engine compartment where you can wire stuff in yourself. And
Man, I sure appreciate you showing us all this stuff. I mean, I don't know what the hell you're talking about half the time.
So I have a Genesis dual battery system right there.
There is a Genesis dual battery system, and you just drive it to charge it. How long will that run?
Drive to
everything?
charge you. I've ran the refrigerator for 2 days without starting it. So.
Okay, so it's not a
And
problem.
one of the batteries is for the accessories. So they run off of that battery, and then if it draws it down, it'll start drawing your starter battery. But once it goes below 12.7 volts,
Everything cuts off.
It'll cut off and won't run
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. That refrigerator will cut off automatically, won't it?
Yeah, well, the whole thing will cut off.
The whole thing, okay.
And then that's my S-Pod. So basically, you can take that cap off. If I want to wire something new in, and you can just wire it right in there.
You might as well be talking Greek. You know what I mean?
Basically, so you don't have to, these new vehicles, they got the computer stuff on there and everything.
Yeah.
You want to wire something in, you're worried about messing up your computer. You
Yeah.
have to undo the other side of it.
Yeah, well, you don't need to really open
Oh, I
it.
didn't know what it looked like.
Yeah. Well, you're the co-pilot sort of thing.
I just want, okay. I'll let you do it. I'll let you put it back together.
Yeah, but that would be me. See, if I tried to open it, it'd come completely apart in my hand or something. Well, let me ask you this. What size engine is this?
It's a 3.5 liter
How many?
V6.
V6?
So, 270 horsepower, I think.
270, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm waiting still to do to it. Toyota hadn't developed, or the people that make their superchargers hadn't developed one for the Gen 3. This is a Gen 3 Toyota.
What
Tacoma.
kind of fuel mileage do you get?
When it was stock, it got 22, and it depends on
Really?
where I'm at. Now I get anywhere from 12 to 18.
You did it, did you? You did
Yeah,
it.
because I had to put new gears in it. It
Yeah.
comes with 373s.
It doesn't even have many more.
No, it has 488s in it now.
That's where your mileage went. Yeah,
Because of the bigger tires and everything.
the
it's just-
488s took care of that. Yep. Yep. Well, I have to tell you this. If you have any problems off-road, you got a way to get out of it.
Yep, and it has ARB Under Armour all the way back. All the plates underneath it.
You got all kind of protection under there. Well, what's the worst situation you've gotten into? I mean, have you ever gotten stuck or got on a big rock? Or?
I haven't gotten stuck, but my brother-in-law owns a Jeep. He's a Jeep guy, and we went to Big Bend. It'd been raining. I told my wife earlier we should have him pay us to go to the desert, because every time we go to the desert it rains. I don't know why.
Well, yeah, really.
But it was raining at Big Bend. We were on Terlingua Ranch Road. If anybody knows where that is.
I lived out there.
Did you? So we were on Terlingua Ranch Road. It'd been raining. It was real muddy, and he had both his lockers in 4 low, and he got stuck because I stopped in front of him, so he stopped, and then he couldn't get going again. And I'd never left 4 high, and I just left.
Well, yeah, you can't. That bentonite clay out there is like ice when it's wet.
Yep.
I mean, you just have to wait for it to dry, basically.
I
So
thought
that's going to be your goal, is to go off-road, and you can get there. I guarantee
Hopefully.
you that.
Or get myself out of what I get in.
Well, that's getting out
Recover
of it.
yourself. Yeah.
That's it.
But the object is not to need to recover.
Well, what is your trade? What are you in real world?
I'm an accountant.
Well, I was a CPA for 20 years. Well, now this is an interesting thing for accounting. Now that does that look like an accounting mobile? No, no.
I'm just a hick from West Texas.
I hear you, old hick from West Texas. Well, I'm a hick from Central Texas. I'm hickier than you. We'll argue about who's the most hicky. Yeah, Texans do that, don't they?
That's right. We argue about stuff. That's
Hell,
what we do.
Yeah, I'm just old ignorant country man.
You know, my horny toe's bigger than your horny toe.
Anyway, Mark, right? And
Amy.
Mark and Amy.
Mike.
Mark and Amy. Say again?
Mike.
Mike. Did I say Mark?
Yeah.
Who said Mark? I didn't say
I
Mark.
didn't hear it.
Mike and Amy.
I don't
okay.
care what you call me, as long as you call me for supper.
Well, I hear you. See, that goes back to South Texas there. Well, Mike and Amy, thank you very much. This is a hell of a truck, guys. This is how that side vent is kind of hooked in here and goes out here and out here, so that if you got in 5 feet of water, say up to the hood, you'd still go, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, you get water inside though. It would come in the cab probably.
But as long as you're still rolling,
As
that's
long
what.
as my engine keeps running, I'm good.
I hear you. Well, thank y'all very much, guys. I sure appreciate it. And are y'all going off-roading from here, or are you headed back to
We're
Abilene?
gonna head back to Abilene in the morning.
So you're still employed, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're not retired neither one. I knew you.
I wish.
Yeah, well.
We're getting there.
But yeah, one day at a time. We all are. But anyway, thank you very much. I wish you. In fact, I heard it this morning in Spanish or some other in the southern South America. It's like Pura Vida. It means have an enjoyable life or something. You know what I mean? I don't know what it means. It sounded good though. Somebody told it. Anyway, enjoy, and thank you for letting me see this Toyota Tacoma 4x4 off-road mobile that you have spent at least $300 improving.
At least 300.
At least 300. I don't even want to know.
Well, to tell you the truth, it was 4.
400. Oh yeah, you wouldn't take liberties with the truth, would you either? Anyway, guys, from Oliver Lee State Park in New Mexico. Thumbs up, guys. Carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything you want, but if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Why? Because I get a small commission. Doesn't cost you a penny. What else? Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day isn't going to hurt you. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and it'll also help you lose weight because you'll be full of water. How interesting. What else? Take deep breaths. Breathe in deeply. Hold it for a few seconds. Breathe out slowly. Why? Because that relieves stress and that lowers blood pressure. Is that good? Yeah, you don't have to take blood pressure medication. It's a freebie, right? What else? Stretch, walk, exercise your body once or twice a day. You'll never regret it. You may live a little longer because of it. What else? Stand guard at the door of your mind. Do not let negative Nancy or negative Ned get inside of your head. That is your head, your brain. Put in good ingredients and enjoy your life, guys. And one of these days you'll be doing this, maybe. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.